Hey everyone, we are right around the corner from the newest summer banner, and so I wanted to take a hot minute and throw out a prediction video for part one. I guess technically part one, because we're going to have a part two here towards the beginning of next month. But I wanted to put a part one video out there, see what everybody else was kind of vibing on, go over some of the previous banners that we've had, and things like that. So let's start with the previous banners. Those are probably the easiest ones, right? So the summer banners that we've had in June, so like the first summer banner that we've always gotten, has typically been like more awakening focused, more than anything. So we've had Robin, Tiki, Gaius, and Frederick that first year. That would be Elysian Summer, and then we had Summer's Arrival. That was a split banner. So we ended up getting two awakening units, that being Noir and Cordelia. Very happy about that. But then we also had Sacred Stones on there as well, which I thought was kind of interesting. And we got Inez and Tana from that as well. So I typically like split banners. I think they kind of help serve everybody for a change. It's just kind of nice to split things up rather than just have a straight single game banner, because what happens if you don't like that game necessarily? You know, there's not really anything in it for you. But odds are, if they do like a 2-game banner, you're gonna find somebody that you at least kind of want to try and summon for. So I do like that trend that they've been doing with that. That's very, very nice. And I hope they continue to do that with the majority, at least, of seasonal banners. I know we don't always get them like that, but special banners are a little bit different, I guess. And so they have the freedom to kind of do that, whereas the other banners, they don't really. So that said, we've always kind of had an Awakening theme going on, and I'll talk about the Fates theme in the part 2 that'll be coming later this month, early next month, probably before that banner comes out. But right now we're talking about Awakening, and so what I think is likely going to happen is, and this helped me narrow down my picks, kind of. I think we're probably going to be looking at either Valentia or Asker, or just heroes in general, to be that second half. I think we're still going to have an Awakening section for the first part, but I think we're probably going to get either Valentian or, like I said, Heroes main cast for the second half of that banner. Second half of the first banner. Half of the first banner there. 2 units will be from Awakening, 2 units will be from something else. And of course, we also have a 5th unit to consider this time around. We actually have 2 Tempest Trials coinciding with each of the new summer banners. So we will be getting 2 free summer units. That's pretty much a given at this point, I think. The real question is, are we going to have a 3-unit banner, a 2-unit banner, a 4-unit banner? Likely it's going to be a 4-unit banner. So that's kind of those are kind of the parameters that I helped specify my picks. Because honestly, you could deep dive and go a whole mess further than what I'm doing here. But I gotta limit it somehow, because the possibilities are literally endless. So who I'm kind of hoping for, I'd like to see Helbindi. I'd like to get a little bit more of Bindi in my life. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think it's likely. Another one that I'd kind of like to see is Air. And the reason I say that is I have a feeling we're going to have Asker be as part of it, this banner. But I kind of want to see more Air as the book 3 continues on. We're probably a little bit further than the halfway point right now, just barely. So with Air, I'd like to see a little bit more development with her. And we've had special units, alts, if you will, of other units that are heroes specific. Like we literally just had Bride Fjorm. I don't really think anybody was expecting that, except maybe the data miners, because they found out about it. But I'd like to see something more focused with these two particularly, because I feel like we're not really getting to know them very well. Bindi particularly, he just kind of came and went. I'm glad we got him in the game. I genuinely like Helbindi for whatever reason. But Air is another one where I feel like as we continue to go through book 3, it might be nice to kind of see a little bit of development on her part. Maybe some alternate realities versions of these, which all special heroes technically are, I think. They aren't necessarily the same person costumed. They are the same person from a different world. I'd like to see kind of an alternate life for those two, particularly because they're both kind of downers. I say that as nicely as I can. Air is pretty sad most of the time, and Bindi had a pretty tragic story. So, yeah, I'd like to see some redemption for those two. And then the main stake that I think we're going to be looking at is Awakening for sure. I would personally like to see Libra or Cherche or Olivia as well. Olivia mainly because like I'd like to see a dancer singer unit as a seasonal, and I know we have like Hoshiden Summer, for example, or the Hoshiden Festival. But I like singer-dancer units, and Olivia, I think, could have an interesting text story talk with the summer stuff, especially because she's very insecure about people watching her dance, let alone probably in summer attire. Libra, this is strictly just a personal one of mine. Libra probably in my top 4 units that I like from Awakening. I feel like he doesn't get a whole lot of love. His base unit is generally not good. Like, there are better options out there. I will probably plus 10 him at some point regardless, but it's worth noting that he's not that great. He got a little bit shafted. I'm waiting for him to get like a unique weapon or a preferred weapon in a future update. He's definitely one of them. Nothing else to that. I would like to have more Libra going on. And then Cherche as well. Because I feel like given some of the Awakening characters that we've had, she kind of helps fit that mold. Same with like Gaius, Cordelia, Frederick. I feel like she kind of fits into that group pretty well. And I'm assuming maybe we'll get to see a little bit more love for Cherche in the future. Again, there's not really anything particularly pointing me towards that direction. It's just a personal wish. And then if we're not getting the Asker, or if we're not getting the Awakening units, I would genuinely like to see Valentian Love. I always like seeing Valentian Love. The picnic banner was awesome. I was not very lucky on that banner, so I got some work to do the next time those units come around for sure. But I genuinely just want a May alt at some point this year. Winter May or Summer May are probably at the top of my list for that. But if we do get a May, I would be very, very happy. And of course, not Cliff, Gray. Cliff was kind of in the back of my head for this one, but I feel like I'd rather have Gray. Gray I feel like he has the attitude and the confidence that would benefit a summer version of himself. So that's just kind of there. I feel like his story, his speech could be kind of interesting with that situation. Actually, they're both pretty confident. May and Gray are both pretty confident, for that matter. Probably my 2 favorite units in Shadows of Valentia, I think. Probably those 2. Since we didn't get them for Valentine's, I got my fingers crossed. Side note, if we do happen to get more Tellius love this time around, I would very much appreciate Summer Mia. Just throwing that out there. That's it. That's all I got. Banner prediction. This is where reality kind of smacks us in the face, right? The hoping for section is basically just hopes and dreams, and then we get smacked in the face with actual predictions. Because more than likely, IS is going to do that thing that they typically do and just go with the units that they feel comfortable with. And then keep in mind also, these special units are typically in production like 8 months out, 6 months out. It's not just oh, hey, June's coming up and it's like April. Like, we should probably figure it. No, they've had this stuff planned for a while. I'm kind of predicting that we'll get a 5-unit smorgasbord here. 4 on the banner, 1 free Tempest Trial unit. Same with the other banner that's coming up afterwards. But I think more than likely we're going to see Sharina and Alphonse from Asker represent, similar to how they did with last year's spring banner. They kind of popped up and hung out a little bit. Sharina actually has her own Cypher card that's a summer special. I believe it's a promo that came in one of the box sets. So the art for her technically already kind of exists. I can also see Alphonse getting thrown in there as well, because we all know it's not going to be Anna. And all the other units just had some love. Like I said, Fjorm was on the Bride banner. And then we, of course, had a lot of units from Book 2 show up in the New Year banner. There's just... They have had a lot of exposure recently where these guys haven't so much. So I feel like if we're going to go down the road of Heroes-specific characters, Sharina and Alphonse make the most sense to me. And then the 3 up top there, I have a feeling we're probably going to get a free Lucina, if we do get a Lucina. And the reason for that is there was a contest entry for new Cypher art for the new summer promo cards. And it was actually a fan submission that won, and it was Lucina, and her heart will probably be in the thumbnail along with Sharina's. So, given that it was kind of like a fan contest, I think it might be cool to kind of have that parallel in Heroes as well. Not saying it would happen, not saying it has to happen. Just think it might be interesting if it did. Because that kind of shows us more coordination between, Heroes and then the other games, including Cypher, which we did just have in set 16, a big Heroes character buff in that set. We got Air, we had Brave Veronica, I think we even had Spring Sharina and Alphonse as well in that set. So we just had a bunch of them pop up. So I think maybe we'd be in for a free Lucina. I don't know if people will be jazzed about that or not. But that said, there is some summer DLC to consider from Awakening as well. Crom has some, of course. And this isn't the first time we've seen that. Not that it's like too specific to the Awakening section. For example, Cordelia's summer art from the DLC doesn't match what she ended up getting in Heroes, but Camilla's did, for example. So that's always a possibility. So Crom, we know, has Trunks. He's in there. He would obviously be a strong pairing with a Lucina if we did get a Lucina. And then Tharja as well, which Tharja's kind of an interesting one. I think, A, she's kind of a fan favorite. B, she's kind of got the busty effect that I feel like every summer banner that Heroes does inevitably embraces to an extent. I mean, we had Tiki one year, we had Tana one year. Camilla, of course, was in existence as well. I feel like Tharja might kind of fit that mold. But her summer DLC from Awakening was kind of interesting because it actually got censored in North America compared to Japan, even though there wasn't necessarily like anything particularly outrageous to censor. But she might be kind of an interesting one to include just because of that history alone. But overall, I feel like Tharja is also a very popular character among people. We have a couple alts of her already, the Bride, the Winter. So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to also throw her into the summer one as well. So those are generally just pretty safe assessments, I think, as far as a prediction goes. I don't know that IS would really venture out too much, but who knows? Maybe they'll surprise us. I feel like after the collaboration that they had with Dragalia earlier this year, they started to kind of get a little braver. Right, but these guys would still technically have been in production, theoretically, before that would have taken place. So I feel like we're not really going to see some really bold special banners until this fall. So that's why I kind of went a little bit safer on the prediction. If anybody was wondering, again, it's a crapshoot one way or the other. You know, it's gonna be what it is. But that's enough rambling for me. What do you guys think? Are you A, excited for the Summer Banner Part 1? And B, who do you think we're going to be seeing in this first Summer Banner that we've got coming up? Again, historically, we have seen Awakening characters in these for the first 2 years. And I genuinely hope, no matter who it is, no matter what games they pick, even if it's not Awakening, I genuinely hope that we get to see at least 2 games represented in this banner. Because I think that's beneficial for everybody, and I wish they would do that more with special banners, by far. Anyway, that's all I got for now. I wanted to get this out. Don't have to wait too long. I think the banner trailer is on the 20th, so just a couple days away. Or the banner actually goes live on the 20th. We'll probably get the trailer by the 18th. So who knows? Could be very soon. But that's it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave your comments below, and I will catch you next time.